Commanders faithful, we have got a big one for you today. Jayden Daniels himself stepped up to the podium after his preseason return to action, and let me tell you, this wasn't your typical robotic athlete press conference full of nothing answers. Jayden got real. He got honest. He talked about rust, about ramping up and ramping down, about trusting a brand new offensive line, and yes, he even addressed that Instagram statement everybody's been buzzing about regarding LSU. So if you're ready for the inside scoop straight from your franchise quarterback's own mouth, smash that subscribe button right now. We are chasing 2,000 subscribers on this channel, and every single one of you watching can help us get there. And let's break down everything Jayden Daniels had to say. Let's start with the moment itself. This was Jayden's first live football action in over 8 months. 8 months. Think about that for a second. That's the toll this game takes on its stars, especially a dynamic dual-threat quarterback like Jayden Daniels who plays with his legs just as much as his arm. And when he finally got back out there under the lights, in a real live setting against another team, his reaction was simple and refreshingly grounded. He said it was just good to get back out there and play football again. No fanfare, no manufactured drama, just a guy who genuinely missed the game he loves, finally getting to scratch that itch. There's something powerful about that kind of simplicity from a young star who already has the entire city of Washington riding on his shoulders. But here's where it gets interesting. Reporters wanted to know what Jayden saw from the sideline once his day was done, specifically how the other quarterbacks performed once he was pulled from the game. And Jayden did not hesitate to hype up his teammates. He explained the other quarterbacks were simply doing exactly what the coaches asked, flip-flopping through series after series, and most importantly, they stayed in the fight. He specifically praised 2 backup quarterbacks by name, one named Sam and another named Ann, saying both of them made real throws out there and battled to try and make plays and give the team a chance to win. Jayden made it clear he was proud, genuinely proud, of how his backups competed once the spotlight shifted to them. That's leadership, folks. That's a starting quarterback who understands that this game is bigger than just his own stat line. It's about lifting up the guys in that quarterback room around him. Now, before we keep rolling with this, I need 30 seconds of your time. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button right now. We are building something special here. A real hub for die-hard Commanders fans who want more than just highlight clips, who want the actual context and the actual stories behind everything happening with this franchise. Our goal is simple. 2,000 subscribers. We are close, and every single person watching this video has the power to help us get there. So smash subscribe, drop a like, and let's keep this thing rolling, because there is a lot more Jayden Daniels gold coming your way in this breakdown. Okay, back to it. One of the juiciest questions of the entire presser came when reporters brought up the fact that the first offensive series didn't exactly go according to plan. Naturally, everybody wanted to know, was there any conversation, any push from Jayden himself to go back out there and try to fix it? And Jayden's answer was pure professionalism. He said flatly that he listens to what the coaches tell him. No pushing, no ego, no demanding extra reps. He explained that it was good just to go out there operationally and get live bullets, acknowledging that joint practices are valuable, but there's a totally different level of urgency when you're going up against an opponent that's actually live and trying to beat you. That distinction matters more than people realize. Practice reps are practice reps, but nothing simulates real football like real football. And for a guy who missed 8 months of it, getting that live urgency back in his system, even for a limited stretch, was clearly valuable. Then came a really human question. One that gets at the mental grind of being an NFL starting quarterback in the preseason. A reporter asked Jayden how tough it is, as a natural competitor, to ramp all the way up to game intensity and then have to shut it back down almost immediately. And Jayden's response showed some real maturity. He admitted it is tough, but explained it's simply part of the business now. He pointed out he's heading into year 3, so he understands you can't go out there and play 60-plus snaps in a meaningless preseason game. The main goal, he said, is week 1 and everything that comes after it. So the approach becomes about building up gradually, ramping up, knocking off the rust in controlled doses, and then trusting the coaching staff's plan completely. That's not the mindset of a guy chasing preseason stats. That's the mindset of a franchise quarterback who understands the marathon, not the sprint, and who is fully bought into what Dan Quinn and this coaching staff are building. There's also an ongoing debate every single preseason about whether star players should even be playing in these exhibition games at all. Injuries happen, risk exists, and plenty of fans and analysts argue stars should just sit and stay healthy. So naturally, Jayden got asked directly about the value of getting even limited live reps, even if it's not a full quarter of football. And his answer was about as blue-collar as it gets from a guy who could easily coast on star power alone. He said plainly that at the end of the day, he gets paid to play football, he's a football player, and if he's asked to go out there and play football, he's going to go out there and play football. He called the reps valuable, whether they come in preseason games or in practice, because he's always learning from every single rep he gets. That kind of no-nonsense, blue-collar attitude from your franchise quarterback should have every single Commanders fan feeling good about the culture being built in that quarterback room. All right, we're at the halfway mark of this breakdown, and I want to pause here for our mid-video reminder. I promise I'll keep it short. If you're loving this deep dive into everything Jayden Daniels had to say, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers, and every single like, comment, and share genuinely helps this channel grow into something bigger. So take 2 seconds, smash that button, drop a comment letting me know your thoughts on Jayden's mindset here. And let's keep building this Commanders community together. Okay, back to the good stuff. Next up, the offensive line. This has been a major storyline all camp long, with the Commanders shuffling combinations left and right, trying to find the right fit up front. So reporters asked Jayden directly how he's been able to gel with a line that has seen so much movement. And Jayden was honest. He said it's still very much a work in progress and reminded everybody that it's only preseason. He pointed out there are still more practices ahead, and by the time week 1 actually arrives, things will be set in stone. But for him personally, the approach right now comes down to trusting the guys up front, trusting the play calling, trusting his own reads, getting the football out on time, and doing his job within the structure of the offense. That's exactly the kind of quiet confidence you want from your starting quarterback during a chaotic offensive line evaluation period. No panic, no frustration, just trust in the process and trust in his own preparation. Now let's address the elephant in the room, because a reporter did bring up Jayden's recent Instagram post regarding the fallout with LSU. This is obviously a sensitive topic, and Jayden handled it with real poise. He acknowledged the post, confirmed that his statement is out there for anyone who wants to read it, but made it clear that his focus now is entirely on Commanders football. He said he already said everything he needed to say within that statement, and now his energy is 100% locked in on getting ready for week 1. Short, controlled, and completely on message, exactly how you'd want a franchise quarterback to handle outside noise during the most important stretch of team preparation all year. From there, the conversation shifted back to football, with a reporter asking where Jayden feels this offense currently stands in terms of installation and readiness for the regular season. Jayden explained that right now, the team isn't really game planning yet. Instead, they're still working on fundamentals and building that foundational base. But he noted that as week 1 creeps closer and closer, the offense will naturally shift into more detailed game planning mode. Right now, he said, the goal is building the foundation, and from there, the coaching staff will start layering in different wrinkles and adjustments as the season approaches. It's a great inside look at exactly how NFL offensive installations work. Foundation first, game-specific wrinkles later. Jayden was also asked about the value of joint practices specifically from a competitive standpoint, and he didn't hesitate. He said he absolutely sees the value. Going against a completely different opponent, rather than just facing your own team's defense day after day, forces you to make different reads. See different coverages and different looks you might not even encounter during an actual preseason game. He emphasized wanting to compete against outside competition, not just recycling the same reps against familiar faces. It's a small detail, but it speaks to a competitive itch that elite quarterbacks tend to have, always searching for a new challenge, a new test to prove themselves against. And then, in maybe the most heartwarming portion of the entire press conference, a reporter asked Jayden about the young receiver corps, specifically mentioning a rookie named Bradley, and what he's been seeing from that group, including some of the unheralded names that don't get talked about as much. Jayden's response painted a beautiful picture of the culture inside that receiver room. He said it starts from the top down, crediting the veteran presence in that room, naming several established players for breathing life into the younger guys and encouraging them to go out and make plays fearlessly. He specifically brought up a spectacular one-handed catch, saying the entire sideline was pumped up watching it happen, joking that some of his teammates might have even run onto the field in excitement. Jayden reflected on just how hard these young players are working and how these preseason moments aren't just about roster spots. They represent these guys living out lifelong dreams, not just for themselves but for their entire families. He said the veteran mentality they try to instill in the young guys is simple: go out there and have fun. That's the culture. That's the environment this locker room is building. Finally, Jayden was asked specifically about the development of one of the backup quarterbacks he'd already praised earlier in the presser, and his answer was full of genuine warmth and humor. He called this young quarterback funny, said he's got a ton of personality, and praised him for going out there and simply making throws. Jayden specifically called out a big connection to a receiver named Nick Nash, along with another impressive throw to the young pass catcher he'd mentioned earlier, and said flat out that he's super happy for this backup's development. That kind of genuine, unguarded praise from a franchise starting quarterback for the guy competing behind him tells you everything about the type of leader Jayden Daniels is becoming in that Commanders locker room. So there you have it, Commanders Nation. Jayden Daniels, straight from his own mouth, giving us a rare, honest window into where his head is at heading into this critical stretch of the preseason. A guy who's genuinely grateful just to be back playing football after 8 long months away. A leader who is already lifting up his backup quarterbacks and his young receivers with real, specific praise. A professional who trusts his coaches, trusts his evolving offensive line, and has already put the LSU chapter behind him to focus entirely on Commanders football. And a competitor who understands the delicate dance between wanting to play every single snap and knowing that the real prize is week 1 and beyond. If you made it all the way to the end of this breakdown, thank you truly from the bottom of my burgundy and gold heart. This channel only exists because fans like you keep showing up. So here's my final ask, and it's simple. Smash that like button right now. Drop a comment telling me what stood out most to you from Jayden's press conference, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We are on a mission to reach 2,000 subscribers, and with your help, we are going to get there faster than you think. Every single subscriber brings us one step closer to bringing you even bigger, deeper Commanders coverage all season long. So don't wait. Subscribe, like, comment, and let's build this thing together. Until next time, Commanders fans, let's ride.